Hello, and welcome back to Nerd Watching for another tier list. Trenton, what is this that you have presented for me?
I'm super excited about this one. Today, Ryan is actually going to be playing Smash or Pass, but he's going to be playing it with Magic the Gathering Planeswalkers. For those of you who have been watching for a little bit, you'll know that I am a pretty big Magic the Gathering nerd, and Ryan is not. So he has no idea really who any of these people are, what their story is. He's strictly going to go through and be like, "Yep, yep. Let's go out for a date. Let's go to the bar. Let's grab a drink.
Oh,
Let's see if I can take him home." And so
or they
I'm
take me
super excited.
home.
Or they take you home. Yeah. I'm super stoked because like there's a lot of these characters I know quite a bit about. There are some that I don't, and so like I'll have a wiki tab pulled up for some of the characters that I know less. Some of these characters are very well known. Some of them are kind of sub characters,
Well, and you
but
were
I'm
you were
I'm stoked.
you were telling me beforehand, so I was unaware that Magic has like an ongoing lore from the sounds of it.
Yep. Every set technically that comes out, this new batch of cards, every 6 weeks, 6 to 8 weeks, is part of Magic's ongoing story. So like currently the first Planeswalker we'll talk about is a Ajani Goldmane. He's technically a cat or an Akatl, but like he in the story he wasn't technically dead. So the new set that just came out is called March of the Machine, and it's basically there's this kind of think of it of like an invading force of kind of robots but not really robots. it's
Like
it's
Cyborg.
hard to describe. There's this group of people, or they're not even people, they're called the Praetors. Anyway, there's this group from this plane called Phyrexia, and they're trying to take over basically the whole multiverse. And so what happens is these Phyrexians, they take over other characters. Sometimes it's by what's called glistening oil, gets absorbed through people's skin, and then they eventually become what's called completed. Ajani is the one of the first planeswalkers, is actually the second planeswalker to become completed in the Magic the Gathering story. So he's kind of dead to everybody else because he's now a cyborg bad guy.
And we're talking about we're talking about this boy right here, right?
Yep, we're talking about Cat Daddy Ajani. So he's technically a robot last we saw, up until, because now that the story for this new set is completely released, they kind of do something weird and he just magically becomes uncompleted, I guess. So he's yeah, it's everyone was kind of like the ending of the March of the Machine story is kind of lackluster, and so everyone's kind of like, really, you're just gonna like undo all like you're basically showing that even important characters like can die, and then you're gonna take it all back. So anyway, as far as what a planeswalker is, they are a character who goes through some great tragedy or great defining heroic
Like a
moment.
trial.
Yeah, kind of. It's usually something that they don't even know about, and then something inside of them sparks. A planeswalker's spark ignites, and it allows them to travel between planes, between anywhere throughout the multiverse. They can kind of just Goku instant teleportation around.
Gotcha.
Throughout like all of these various sets, like Ajani has been on multiple planes and multiple sets. He's got multiple different cards around him.
Depending
Um,
on what like plane he's in and stuff. Or...
yeah, and where he's at in his life, he'll be aligned with different colors. He's normally seen as like mono white out
Mm.
of the five colors. He's occasionally seen as a mix of white and green, and then he's only ever been a mix of white and red once when he was Ajani Vengeant. So he was super angry. He was
he
yeah,
was mad.
he was pissed. But so that's more or less what a planeswalker is they're just kind of like a character that became super powerful to some degree.
Like a
The
demigod.
almost, as the previous little segment showed, that planeswalkers were susceptible to death, and as beloved as some of these characters were, some of them had to die.
And the way we're gonna go about this is I'm going to obviously other than this first one to explain, but I'm going to rank them and then Trent is going to tell me more about them after the fact. That way I'm not going in with like a preconceived notion of like, oh, this guy's a fucking douchebag, you know? like
Yeah, yeah.
like I'm going purely a smash or pass appearances, etc.
Yeah, are
Um
you walking up to them in a bar to try and bring them home or not?
exactly.
And if you are, does it take a couple of drinks to do so first?
Because, that is important sometimes. We thought this would be fun. Like Trent said, I have very little knowledge of Magic. I've played Commander with him, I think we did 3 rounds in that hotel, something like
Yeah,
that.
yeah.
So I really enjoy watching card games. I get very frustrated playing them because I always feel like no matter what happens, everyone has the counter for what I'm doing, conveniently.
It's
So
possible.
I just get really annoyed. But I love watching them. I like the strategy in it and stuff like that. So Trent has talked to me about Magic a lot over the last 3 years, I think. 3 or 4.
Yeah, I've been really into it the last 3 or 4 years. I got into it in, let me double check when it came out. Ixalan the set came out in, looks like 2017.
Oh god.
Brenton
So
showed
that's
it to
6 years
me.
ago.
Yeah, so Brent showed it to me late 2016.
Hmm.
So before Ixalan came out, but I got really into it when the set Ixalan came out because they introduced a new creature type, and that creature type was dinosaur. So I got super fucking hyped to
That's a
basically
green
play
deck, right?
Jurassic Park. Yeah, yeah. Well, dinosaurs are across all colors. I primarily played a mono green dinosaur deck.
That's
It's
funny.
super, yeah. And to this day, I have one of my more well-known commander decks is a 3-color dinosaur deck, and I fucking love it. It's so much fun.
That's amazing.
So yeah, I've been into Magic for, God, the fact that it's technically been 7 years now, but heavily into it the last probably 4.
Hmm.
I guess technically the last 5 years have been way more heavy. And then I backed off a little bit recently just because they went from releasing sets every 12 weeks ish to now it's every 6 to 8. So it's just I
Oh,
financially
rapid
can't
fire.
keep up.
Yeah.
Yeah. And so with Commander, as a Commander player, every set can have cards that I will want to play. It's if I played super competitive formats like Modern or Legacy, where the card pool that you're actually actively seeking out is much smaller, I probably wouldn't care as much. But as Commander players, because just about every card is legal in Commander, and that's kind of the draw to it, there's a very small band list. It's one of those deals where every set just felt like you needed to buy some of it to get some of those cards, and I mean that's not the case, but
Mm.
the feeling, the FOMO, the fear of missing out was definitely there when I didn't buy boxes at a time.
Mm.
And now that I've taken 3 sets off from buying boxes, I'm like, wow, I can just spend $30 on the exact cards I want and call it good. So anyway,
Yeah.
let's
Let's get into it.
let's get into it.
We
So
already
Ajani
talked.
Goldmane, yep,
As you
he's
said,
a cat daddy.
as you said, his cat daddy. Here's him blown up over here.
You'd blow him up.
I mean, I feel like he's a smash.
He's
in
he's a good looking dude.
he's a fucking lion. That's top tier cuddler right there.
Yeah, yeah, he is. So Ajani is one of the characters that is always looking out for other people. From what I remember,
So
he's
the aftercare is gonna be good, is what you're saying.
well, literally the heart of a lion, right? So he is the embodiment of that. Except for when that one time he was super angry and he was the vengeance.
And we forgave him and we moved on.
However, he did become a bad guy. He became a sleeper agent, so he was an undercover douchebag for a hot minute.
Mm,
But then magically that all went away. So he's a good guy again.
exactly. This man, I could cuddle on that chest. It's gonna be so warm. Look at all that hair.
Yeah,
Beautiful.
that's the art for a Johnny inspiring leader. So you
Mm.
chose a good dude. Ryan.
All right.
Next up, Minotaur Man, Angrath.
Oh, I didn't even notice he was a minotaur. Okay.
Yeah,
All right. Hmm.
a little less your style.
A little less.
I can hear the hesitation.
I think he's a pass. He's a bit. He looks a little too aggressive. He looks like he'd be very. What's the word? He wouldn't be looking out for me. He's looking to satisfy himself, and then he's gonna get out.
No, that's fair. So Angrath is a Minotaur pirate.
Oh, so checks out.
Yep. He's primarily in the colors of chaos, which are black and red. He's been considered aggressive, rude, and insulting.
Mm-hmm.
He was a skilled blacksmith and a terrifying warrior. He debuted on in Ixalan, so he's from Ixalan,
Mm-hmm.
which is the set that I got like really into. So that's Angrath. Not a whole lot else is really known about him. We haven't seen him recently, to my knowledge, in any recent sets.
Like he was kind of a one-off.
He was like a 2 or 3 off. He pretty. He's a little bit more of a minor character.
All right, what do we got here?
Arlen. I wish you could find slightly better artwork of her, because there is a
Let me see if
there's
I
a
can pull it up on my
cutie.
Rider.
Well, there's some like really badass art of her. Although looking at it now, it shows that I'm not gonna tell you what her secret is yet.
Okay, okay. This is the art that seems to come up the most.
Yeah. So Arlen Cord is the, if I remember correctly,
The Pax.
well, one, that's her name, but yeah, that's also the planeswalker card she originally came out with.
Looks like there's one like a little more anime style of her younger.
Yep.
But I mean, though, I get the gist. Yeah, I think she'd be a smash. Like, she seems refined. She knows what she wants. I mean, look at that face. Like, she's definitely like, okay, like I'm gonna be the one in charge, but I'm gonna do.
And
I know
yes,
what you want.
she will be, because her secret is she's a werewolf.
Oh, hell yeah, bro.
Yeah, so you are in for
we're
a
starting
wild night.
We're starting strong in the furry category.
Yeah, I was about to say, you unlocking a furry arc here, right? But yeah, so Arlen Cord, she's a werewolf. She does have an anime. She's got a couple of different. Recently, she just got like an anime art treatment, which is actually one of my favorite.
Oh, okay, now I
decks
see
to play
like a
right now.
werewolf version. Okay.
Yep, there's a really cool artwork or alternate art version of one of her newer cards. Arlen is really cool. I have a deck around her right now, and I do want to build around the one that I'm getting ready to send you.
Well, you know, she, like I said, like she's a good-looking woman in her human form, and then you know she'll be another top-tier cuddler in her werewolf form. You know.
Right.
Like I said, the aftercare is there.
Sending.
Oh yeah. Oh wow.
That
yeah,
art,
with like a werewolf
that art's so
hand.
cool.
Yeah. There we go. Yeah,
Yep.
with like the half hand.
Because that planeswalker flips to a backside, which shows her werewolf form more in more detail.
Mm-hmm.
It's the art there is also super dope.
I
Yeah.
approve.
Hell yeah.
I'm fine with my choice. Like I said, she looks like she knows what she's doing. She'll take control.
Next up, Ashiok. So Ashiok is unknown gender and is technically like a nightmare. She or they, if I remember correctly, they basically can take your memories and replace them with nightmares. Not that I shouldn't have told you that. So, you know, just don't look into their eyes.
What eyes?
Exactly. You look into the void.
They're probably gonna be down here. Like that's
Okay,
a maybe. Like as the night progresses, I might warm up to them. You know.
Yeah, absolutely.
I'm not a fan of long nails. but
need a manicure.
But otherwise, you know, you would think the horns and no face might be a deal breaker. But you know, maybe they can charm me. You know.
No, that's fair.
And I have a lot of nightmares anyway, so it's like whatever.
Yeah, I guess that's fair.
Yeah, so it's like that's not a lot is changing from that.
All right, next up, Boss Riquette.
Let's take a look at this man.
Handsome gentleman.
He's a handsome guy. I don't like the way he's looking at me though.
Yeah, that's fair.
He's kind of like, yeah, he's gonna be a pass. He's the same vibe of like, he just seems like he'd be greedy. You know.
So Bossry, if I remember correctly, is actually a pretty nice dude. Yeah, he's a paladin. The downside is he always appears in like an aura of that like swirling sand. You're gonna get sand everywhere when you bring him home. You know, like you're gonna do so much cleaning the night after.
It's never gonna actually leave your house.
Yeah, pretty much.
Yeah, you're gonna be finding it 20 years later, and you're gonna be like, oh yeah. I remember that guy.
Not a ton is known about him, and he's not mentioned a super lot in the lore.
Sand is a big negative. He's got kind of an angry face. That's a big negative. Paladin, questionable.
Whoa, whoa,
Hey,
whoa. Worships a god, of course. Go figure.
uh,
Religious.
not even that. Just sometimes.
Yeah, I know. Uh, next up, so that's Calyx or Calyx. I don't know how it's pronounced. All a same kind of the same thing with Bossry. Very new character in comparison to the history of Magic. Not
Mm-hmm.
a whole lot is known about him, to my knowledge.
Looks like he's like a wind guy.
He's an enchantress technically. Like he deals with enchantments and stuff like that. That's why he's got like the sparkly, glittery cloak looking thing.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
While you decide what you'll do with him, I'm gonna do a quick reading.
I kind of like the cut of his jib, and green's my favorite color, so maybe that's why I'm a little biased here.
Fair.
But I think he might go down here as well. I really like his outfit. I like the green, and I like on the cusp of a smash.
Sure, sure.
I think there's just a little bit about his face. Like I don't like mustaches for one thing. So
Okay.
that doesn't do it for me. Maybe if he didn't have that, he might have been able to clinch it, but
Not a ton of info on Calyx. He is kind of dedicated his life to hunting down another planeswalker, Elspeth, who we'll get to in a little bit. Dedicated though, because he, from what it sounds like, most planeswalkers have like their spark ignites when they go through something or they are going through something,
Mhm.
and he made his specifically to pursue Elspeth.
Okay, but is he
So
gonna have time for me?
ultimately, that's up to you and him.
That's sounding like a no. It sounds like he's dedicated to this other person. I'm just gonna be a side piece when he feels like it.
Yeah,
And that
yeah,
just sounds like a hate fuck. He's gonna show up in his enchantress bodiness, have his way, and then be like, okay, well now I need to go find this other person, and he's gonna do
yeah.
it.
Sorry, but thanks for
Yeah,
the.
this
Yeah,
is
no,
this is like a 2 a.m. like, oops, gotta go.
yeah. That's
So
fair.
so that's like maybe for a one night stand. All right, who do we got here?
So that is Chandra Nalar.
Okay.
Chandra. The only thing I'll really tell you about her is she's. I mean, as you can see, lots of
Fire.
fire.
I mean, this is probably an easy smash for me. This is definitely closer to like the body type I like. I love red hair, just kind of like a little tomboy-esque. I love the goggles, so that's an easy smash.
So Chandra is a. I don't know if she's like true lesbian or she, according to the
True lesbian.
well, because she was originally written to be a pansexual,
Okay.
and then like in one of the story arcs, she got like hard errated to be hetero who likes quote unquote big muscly manly men. She's in a relationship with Nissa, who's another planeswalker we'll get to in a little bit.
So it's like they kind of don't fully know where they're going with them.
Yeah, which is well, so like in the most recent set, so what happens eventually, she basically has to try and kill Nissa at some point.
Oh, I
I don't
see.
know if she successfully does or not. So yeah, she like has to kill her girlfriend, which is kind of fucked.
Yeah.
So,
Interesting.
but anyway, so yeah,
I
that's
know
Chandra.
if Jack watches this, he's gonna laugh because I have a track record of being attracted to lesbians.
Fair,
So we're going strong. All right.
fair. Oh,
Next.
Dak Faden. Go ahead. What do you got? Is he looking at you in a way?
I mean, that's a pretty handsome man. He's got a lot of hair to grab. I feel like that's a smash.
Nice. Dak came out a good number of years ago. Absolutely, his card absolutely like wrecked multiple formats for a hot minute.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know how terrible he is now. He's fine in Commander. He's
Oh, like
fine.
he was overpowered.
He was pretty pushed, yeah, when he first came out. He's banned in multiple formats, but
Gotcha.
as far as his character goes, he's mainly a protagonist in looks like a lot of the comics that are being released.
Oh, okay. He's transcended the card game.
Well, I mean, yeah, the comics are all being or have a lot of people. Oh, he's dead.
Okay.
Yeah, he died in the War of the Spark, which was a set that came out in like 2018.
That's really funny.
Damn, yeah,
And
he's dead as
dead.
fuck. Yeah, they basically ripped his fucking spark out from him
Wow.
and killed him.
Apparently he was so OP they just ended him.
Yep, yep. Ah, Duretti. He's a goblin. He's like an engineer.
You know, this may come as a shock, but I think this is gonna be a pass.
Is it because he's a goblin?
I mean, the facial hair ain't doing it. Like
Fair.
the Pope outfit ain't doing it. He's got tiny wrists but giant hands. Like there's a lot going on in this picture that I'm not.
You're just worried.
It's not clicking for me here.
Sure, sure. Kind of the same thing. Not a whole lot of. I mean, there's some history, but he's mostly just known as a as like a master artificer. Usually puts things together from the trash that other people have discarded, and
I don't even have anything against goblins, but this is an ugly ass goblin.
poor
Like
Gobbo.
I'm sorry.
Ah, Davriel is next. So
Doctor Strange ass looking
when
guy.
when we first met Davriel, he was just a hooded figure.
Okay.
We didn't know anything about him, and then they released that artwork for him in a following set, and everyone was like, "Oh no, he's hot!"
Well, of course. You know, he's probably. I have to go based off of this picture, so I have to like assume a lot of personality traits here. So my initial is probably down here.
Okay.
Because he looks like he probably knows what he's doing. He looks like a charmer, but he also looks like same as this guy. Like looks like the kind of dude who's like 2 a.m, got what he wanted, and he's like, all right, I'm going home. You know, like I think the aftercare isn't there. You know.
So Davriel's primary colors are black, which is, you know, like death and deception, shit like that. His mixed colors, or his secondary color, is blue, which is very intelligent. So with him being this like shadowy, kind of shady dude, he's in, he's out, and he's probably not gonna call you back.
Exactly. And then he shows up at like 4 a.m. 3 years later.
And he's like, "Hey, I'm back," and you're like,
and then you're like, "No, I can't do this." And then, like I said, he's got that charmer face, and you know, next thing you know, we're smashing. And then he does, and then he leaves for another 5 years. You know, you know, he's got to wine and dine me first, but we'll get there.
Fair. Next up is Domri.
Is this an orc?
Yeah, technically he's a human shaman, member of the Gruul clan. So Gruul is green and red. So it's like chaotic nature, basically, is where they go about it.
I mean, judging by this picture, I feel like I have to go past because they look way too young.
Sure.
Like this looks like maybe like 15. You know?
Sure. I don't see anything on his age. But, I mean, yeah, he's human, so probably not doing...
Yeah.
Apparently he died? Well, it says lifetime, died 4560. Does that mean he was 4,500 years old? Or was that the year he died? I don't know. But
regardless,
anyway,
he looks too young. Like
in that picture, absolutely.
Yeah. So going on the information I have.
Next up is Dovin. Dovin
right.
Bond.
Mr. Manhattan himself.
So Vidalkin is the race of his character.
And it's like a blue-skinned elf-looking thing from the looks of it?
Yeah, kind of. They used to be considered not quite homunculus. They had like similar traits or something like that. They're just very smart, almost high society kind of. What's high society for the super smart people?
You mean academia?
Yeah, that kind of thing. Like they're extremely smart. They know what they're doing. They are extremely talented. That's the Vidalkin.
Well, no, just going off that picture, I mean, I feel like he'd be a smash. Like, okay. But I feel like we would spend more time like talking than actually smashing. You know?
Sure.
And I feel like it would be a good conversation. I feel like I'd learn a lot from this man.
Also dead, but. He actually died like a year after Domri, which is interesting. But then, Elspeth Tyrell. What's up, girl?
Yeah,
not the greatest
picture.
I'll send you one, just because I don't want any spoilers for you. Sure. This is a more recent picture of Elspeth.
Okay, that is very different.
Different time, different plane.
Yeah, like she's a lot more like jacked. Like, look at these.
Well, so that's on her home plane, if I remember correctly, which is Theros, which is actually where Calyx is from. So she's the one that Calyx is trying to always find. So he's the one that, or she's the one that Calyx is leaving you for at 2 a.m. Yep. That being said, oh no, she is from New Capenna. Yeah, and then so the one I sent you is she's back home. She's kind of undercover, is kind of like the story She basically goes back to New Capenna and she's trying to find out why these 5 demons are taking over the plane, if I remember correctly.
Yeah, I would say so. Like I said, it's a body type I like. I think she has a pretty face. I actually like the armor look. I think when people draw women in like practical armor, I think it's pretty cool. I enjoy this, and then like this kind of shows like the more like high society classy attire, and I feel like she pulls off pretty well. I'm about it.
Well, cool. Now I'm gonna send you.
And she's also dead.
No. She is alive and well. She's an absolute fucking badass. So what happens in the story is, so the Phyrexian invasion is going on, right? That we talked about earlier.
Sure.
This group from this other plane is trying to basically conquer the multiverse all at once. Elspeth goes with a group of other people, including Chandra, who we mentioned earlier.
Mm-hmm.
Nissa, who is coming up. Basically, they go to the home plane of the Phyrexians, which is called New Phyrexia,
Mm-hmm.
and they try to basically blow it the fuck up. And something happens. I won't spoil it because we're getting to a planeswalker where that something happens. And she basically planeswalks into the Aether with essentially a ticking time bomb. So the assumption was she was dead. And then she comes back and she is all brand new. She's no longer technically human. She comes back as an archangel, and she fucking just wrecks shop, and she just beats the shit out of like everybody in the story for New Phyrexia right now. So Elspeth is super cool. She's also one of the first planeswalkers I ever got as a Magic card. So
wow. So there's a bit of an emotional attachment there.
Yeah, her and Huatley, who we'll get to here very quickly. Huatley I actually pulled from a pack, and Elspeth was given to me or traded to me back when I like first got into Magic. So Huatley and Elspeth have special places in my Magic heart because they're some of the first planeswalkers I ever had.
Gotcha.
Garruk.
I mean, for me, like, it's an easy pass. I'm not big on like big muscle dudes. I respect it. I respect bodybuilders immensely and like stuff like that, but it is not attractive to me.
Garruk is just a dude. No, I'm just kidding. Garruk's a pretty big name. I haven't seen him. Well, we've seen him in a couple sets recently. He started off mono green, and then he became cursed, and then he kind of goes off the rails and becomes kind of a pseudo bad guy. Okay. Eventually breaks the curse, goes back to being a good guy. There's like art of him. I wouldn't say like sensitive content, but it's him basically grabbing Liliana by the throat and getting ready to punch the shit out of her.
Mm-hmm.
Pretty fucked up. But if I remember correctly, it's because she cursed him or he was cursed and then did it. I don't remember which. But anyway,
there's
point
history there.
Yeah, he is now a better guy than he was.
He's chilled out.
Then Gideon. So Gideon is one of the earlier planeswalkers in Magic's history, if I remember correctly. One of the first 5-ish that came out. So Gideon's an older character. Very stoic.
Okay, this is just the sun. It's not on fire. Okay.
Correct.
Because that's very different.
He's mono white, so he's usually aligned with order and lawfulness.
I think he's gonna go down here too. There's some nice qualities, like he's got great hair. He's a little more jacked than I would like. I'm somewhat hesitant on what these ribbons are doing.
I mean, it's probably just a cloak.
Yeah, sure.
They hide in something.
No, I mean these things. These like things come out.
Oh, those. Yeah. He had a whip, if I remember correctly.
Yeah, I am not a sub, so I don't know if we would be compatible. If we're...
You sure about that?
But yeah, so I think that's a strong maybe. We'd have to be fairly under the influence, I think.
Yeah, nothing super crazy here except for the fact that he is also dead. His spark ignited when he was born as... His name wasn't Gideon when he was born. He was part of like this little troop called the Irregulars, and then something happened. I don't know exactly what, but they all died, and it's his fault, and that's how his spark ignited.
The more I think about it, I think it's a pass. Like, I think he's just not my type.
Watley, my girl.
Oh, okay, apparently can control dinosaurs.
Oh yeah, absolute badass.
Yeah, that's pretty dope.
She's Dino Mommy.
I feel like I can't discern their like body
So
type
for
that
what,
well.
yeah, for what it's worth, her primary card, if I remember correctly, the first one she was printed on was the Warrior Poet.
You know what? I'll put her in Smash. I think.
Yeah, she's one of my favorites. She is in a relationship with Sahili,
Hmm.
who is also a woman. So good luck trying to get her to take you home.
Well,
As much as I love her, she will never love me the same way.
and she's kind of on the fence for me, if I'm being honest.
Sure.
But yeah, I mean, I think it's pretty cool. I like her outfit. The fact that she controls dinosaurs, pretty hot.
Next up, Jace. He's an architect of thought. He's kind of a
So he's a thought.
yeah, yeah, right. No, I forget. I'm trying to think. I should probably just look him up what the word for him is. But basically, like he's not quite a mind reader, but he can like kind of get in your mind, and he's almost like a mentalist. You know, he
Hmm.
just gets in there, and he's like the power of suggestion he uses.
I
He's
mean,
also he's like Gideon. He's one of the first planeswalkers.
I gotcha. I
If
mean,
you look up Jace, look up Jace Cunning Castaway, and you'll see what everybody on Magic Twitter refers to as Twink Jace.
mm-hmm.
Uh,
Let's go. I'm about it.
yeah, so that's Jace. Sad news for you. He's not dead.
Oh, I thought you
He
said he
did.
was.
No, he became completed. So he's a bad guy.
Oh, I see. I see.
His story is a little sad. Basically, he goes with the team with Elspeth to try and stop the Phyrexian invasion. His girlfriend ends up super wounded,
Hmm.
and he stays to help her out. She ends up becoming completed as well, then betrays him and completes him. And then he goes back to, or she basically infects him with the shit that would eventually complete him.
Hmm.
And he goes back to the rest of the crew to try and help finish what he started. Yeah, they kind of leave him for dead because he's already starting to turn. So they leave him, he dies, and then he gets brought back, or he gets completed, and he's a baddie. His girlfriend's a baddie, and to my knowledge, he's still around. He's not dead.
Well, poor guy.
Yep.
I just wanted to
Yeah, I'll pull up Twink Jace.
show the world this was a defining
That was the
moment in my
moment you knew.
decision.
Next up is Jaya. She is an older gal.
Mm-hmm.
She's also a fire mage, kind of like Chandra is.
I got nothing against older ladies.
If
Oh,
you Google, I believe it's just Jaya Ballard, Ballard, you'll see her when she was younger.
oh god! Oh wow! All right. Let's see if we can get this
Oh,
up on.
wow.
Let's see if we can. I mean, this is a smash, easy. However, we have to work with what we got here.
She'll still teach you a thing or two.
I know, like I'm just
Or 10.
I'm thinking this is hard, you know, like. I mean, that young version of her would be a smash, but we definitely have to go with this. And I feel like maybe I wouldn't have to be like drunk, you know, maybe just like a drink and we'd talk for a little bit and, you know, see where it goes. You know, I have nothing against an older lady.
Also, R.I.P. Yeah, she dies I think in the preparation for the Phyrexian invasion, she dies.
Mhm.
Might have even been on New Capenna. I don't remember which. It was recently. It was in the last year that her
I mean,
character died
judging
off.
by the fact that she ages so much, I imagine she's been around for quite a while.
Yeah. We missed one. Yeah.
Oh yeah, no, I
Yeah,
accidentally.
Jang. Might also be a little too young for this.
Yeah. How old does it say he is? Do you know?
Does not say.
Yeah.
But also a very new character.
Like
But
yeah,
he comes with a puppy. Look at that.
I
Look
mean
look.
that's the thing is like he could be 20, he could be 15. I
Yeah.
don't know. Like that face is
Yeah.
undiscernible. So like I think for safety, I think he has
Yep.
to go and pass. Clearly he's got good taste. He's green, you know.
Yep.
So
He's got a doggo.
he's a dog person.
Next up is Kaito. He's a ninja.
Oh, okay. That's very cyberpunk.
Yeah, so that was from a set, I think it was February of last year. It might have been the year before. My timelines are all screwed. Basically, like a revisit to a plane called Kamigawa. which was a set that originally did not fare well because the way they went about it culturally, tying things to Japanese and Chinese lore, was not perceived very well at the time. And so they went back and revisited it as a cyberpunk world. They actually worked with a team from Japan to kind of correct all the mistakes they made in the first set, the first Kamigawa block, which was really cool.
Uh-huh.
But that's Kaito. He's got that little
Yeah.
raccoon robot. Yeah, he made it himself. It's super cool.
Yeah, like he looks super cool. Like seems like he could be a chill dude. Not my type.
I'll,
I don't have anything against him.
I'm gonna send you
Oh my god.
his anime artwork.
All right, all right.
Which I mean probably won't change your mind, but just the fact like I love this frame and this artwork of him I think is just really cool.
Yeah, I mean, like I said, he looks cool. He's just not my type, but like I'd hang out with this guy.
Right?
Yeah, I'm about it.
I'd let him build me a Tanuki.
If we're talking this picture, it's a pass. If we're talking anime him, it's probably down there. We gotta stick with the provided artwork.
So next up is Karn. He is technically just a robot. He's a construct.
I mean, this is an easy pass. There's nothing here that's that indicates any sort of compatibility. He looks like he's a rock.
He's technically made of metal, but yes.
So the cuddle game is quite weak. There's nothing going on anywhere. Yeah, I mean, I'm not seeing any positives of this.
No, that's fair. That's fair. Sorry, Karn.
Yeah, I mean, you know, maybe he's got a heart. I would say of gold, but that's just more metal. Maybe he's got a nice human heart in there, and he's just a sensitive soul. But you know, that artwork doesn't convey that.
Kasmina. I actually really like Kasmina.
Oh, I mean, I do too. Like that.
Her character.
That's 100% my type.
She does work with kind of like transformational magic. I don't know if it's quite illusionary. No, Kasmina, like her that card there, I play quite a bit. It's not super good in Commander, but I like it because it's a little. She kind of creates like a protective ward over a lot of your stuff. So she's like kind of embodies protection to some degree.
Mm-hmm.
She's a blue planeswalker, but she recently got green added to her, which is kind of neat. So
yeah, cool, I mean, cool. I like her style. I like her hair. You know, I like the cool eyes going on. Like I said, she's the body type I prefer. So like, I'm about it.
Next up is Kaya. She's a Geist Hunter.
This might be one I should pull up a separate picture because I literally can't see half of her body.
Yeah, she's literally just like a ghost assassin.
Oh, here's one. Kaya the
Inexorable, yeah. I was gonna say Orzhov Usurper 2 has artwork that's a little more easy to see.
Okay, well that didn't work. Yeah, I mean I feel like that's pretty easy smash.
Easy smash.
Yeah. I think she's pretty.
Yeah,
looks like she's got like a good sense of humor.
Yeah, I don't know as much about her character-wise. I do know she's just kind of like a fucking badass, though. She just like goes around and she just straight up murders anything that is not. I won't say not human, but like she's a ghost hunter. She's killed vampires. She's killed ghosts. She does things.
Yeah, like she's fucking cute.
Yeah, Kiora.
I mean. This is not attached to her. This is not like a tail.
No. Okay. She is technically, if I remember correctly, she is a merfolk.
Yeah, I mean.
Yeah, she's a merfolk. Yep.
I mean, hell yeah, I'm about it.
Let's go. Kiora is kind of like my planeswalker bae. Card wise, she just does a lot of cool shit with like Leviathans and Krakens and shit like that. So I'm just like, she in the card game, she plays big, dumb, stupid monsters that I love playing. So yeah, I just
it's really like for some maybe the fins are a deal breaker, but not for me. As long as none of these tips are poisonous, I think we can make it work.
That's that's fair. Next up is Koth. I also don't know a whole lot about him. He recently got brought back into Magic. His character kind of took a long break from being in the sets.
I think he is. I'm gonna put him next to him for the same reason. I feel like these two are very, very similar.
Sure.
They both look kind of upset.
Yep.
And like they don't think very well of me, and I need a mutual respect in my partnerships.
Yeah. No, that's fair. He's a geomancer, so he works a lot with like rock and stone and metal and shit like that. He literally just got a new card for the first time in like I don't know, it was close to a decade or some crap is when we finally got a new card. But yeah, he just got a new card recently in the last set to come out. He does a lot with mountains, you know, with so but he is red, so he's got that fiery burning passion.
Yeah, okay. I just felt like these should be more clear.
That's fair. Next up, Liliana Vess, the necromancer queen herself.
I mean, say no more. Those are all things I am fine with.
Yeah, like
I love
she
her.
can
I
kill
love her
you
style. Yeah, she can kill me, bring me back for another round. You know, like she could snap my neck with these thighs, and we just keep going. You know.
Yeah, yeah. So she got a lot of her power by making deals with literal demons. And
Not a deal breaker.
yeah, she does have a brother, Josu, by the way, who I don't know much about him.
But you know.
Yeah, no, Liliana is very iconic, very like easily one of the very big planeswalkers. Oh, you should Google Professor Onyx. That is her alternate persona when she is undercover on another plane.
Okay, yeah, I mean, you know, I love her style. Love the outfits, the very gothic look. I love her nails. Love the sleeves. Like this is, I mean, if we were actually ranking these in order, like she's going straight to the top. You know?
Straight to the top.
And maybe I'll do that after the fact that she's top tier Smash, bro.
Yeah, no, Lily's like I said, like she's probably the most iconic planeswalker at this point for Magic the Gathering.
Gotcha.
Luca.
Okay, it looks like he's got a harpoon thing, so I got him.
Yeah, he's
so he provides.
He's kind of a beast tamer to some degree, if I remember correctly. I know for a fact. Well, I won't. I'll let you decide.
Yeah. Like I said, he's got a harpoon, so I imagine he fishes, so he could provide. He's got some DSLs, so you know, yeah, why not?
So Luca he has the ability to form bonds with animals.
Okay.
And basically make it to where will like live or die for him, kind of thing.
Mm-hmm.
And yeah, he's like Magic's biggest douchebag. Because he bonds with a bunch of creatures and then like literally sends them to their death or sacrifices them so he can get away, kind of thing. And then he becomes completed. So he becomes a bad guy because he's a dipshit and tries to bond with a Phyrexian beast, and they meld into one body. So he eventually becomes, you can look it up, it is Luca Bound to Ruin. And he's literally like melded with a beast. It's kind of funny. Yeah, so he's a bad guy for sure. Yeah. And he kind of gets sent to his death by his boss. Like basically he volunteers to go back to his home plane, which is Ikoria, and conquer it in the name of the Phyrexian invasion. And not Elspeth, Elish Norn, who's like the big baddie of this whole overarching theme of this invasion, is like, yeah, okay, go for it. And then every other planeswalker that Elish Norn had completed up until then was like, you realize you just sent him to his death, right? And she was like, yeah, good. Like,
wow.
That's because even she was like, I fucking hate this guy. Like, he's the biggest tool.
Is he confirmed dead? Or is it like we sent him there and that's just the last we've heard of him?
I remember, so I read his story. I believe he is actually dead. I read the Ikoria story. Let me triple check. Oh, yeah, no, he gets fucking, that's right. He basically gets burned to a crisp by holy fire.
Gotcha. So he big dead.
Yeah. It's did you ever watch the more recent Godzilla movie where like Godzilla just like opens up the other Godzillas and just like breathes fucking
down his
straight
throat.
up? Yeah. That's essentially what happened to Luca.
I mean,
you have to keep him there. You put him there.
No. I'm not moving him. I was about to say, you know, like, but this picture, I'd still smash that virgin.
Mu Yan Ling. So she, not a whole lot is known about her. Like she has ribbons, she has like 2 cards, I think, maybe even just 1. Oh, she has 3. But yeah, not a whole lot is known about her. I'm doing a quick look right now. She's a slender young woman with long flowing silver hair and azure colored eyes. She's a hydromancer who can also control air elements.
That's what I'm getting from this. Yeah, I mean, I think she's pretty.
There's like literally almost no lore about her, so
If people haven't picked up on it now, I prefer small chests. just
slender
just
ladies.
to make it like very clear. So yeah, no, she's very pretty to me.
Yeah,
Just
I'm
like it
like
looks like this one's kind of the same vein.
Nahiri.
I
Nahiri's
mean,
kind of a
you don't have
badass
to tell
too.
me anything. She's going right up here, right next to
Yeah.
her.
I got bad news for you, homie.
She's dead.
Completed.
But
However,
I can
let
fix
me.
her.
I can fix her. Let me quadruple check. I believe. Was she one of the ones that got fixed? Da-da-da-da-da.
I mean, there's a lot to discern from this picture. Like, yeah, she's got like a lava thing, but like it is burning her, and she cares not. So she's a kinky
Yeah,
bitch.
she's a lithomancer, which I don't remember exactly what lithomancy is. I want to say it's something to do with kind of like metal and stone and shit like that, kind of like Koth, but more refined, if I'm remembering correctly. But it does look like she is dead, or at least,
Missing in action.
yeah, at least MIA. She definitely got completed. She was a bad guy or bad gal. She also had like this really long feuding thing with another planeswalker we'll get to in a little bit, where they just like constantly were going against each other. It was almost like daddy issues, but they're not related. So
I see. This picture, that's doing a lot for me in many ways. So she's definitely
yeah,
top.
Nahiri's cool. I like a lot of her cards. I think they're a lot of fun. She's kind of a badass, but she does end up becoming completed. Right. Narset's cool.
I feel like this pose I can't really tell a lot. Let me look her up.
Yeah, I mean, so all of the planeswalkers that have a card from War of the Spark, which Narset part of Veils is, have like a legitimate straight up anime, like a Japanese anime treatment. So like Narset has one, Davriel's first card has one. Like anime Narset is cute as hell, but we can't judge based off anime.
I feel like she's gonna come down here, which I don't know. Like neither of these do anything for me, really.
Sure.
Maybe we get to talking over a few drinks, and it's like, yeah, you know, why not? Definitely not a strong opinion either way. So yeah, I feel like down here is where she belongs.
Yeah. She's a master martial artist. She, I believe, was able to communicate with, well, I mean, a lot of the not elder dragons. A lot of the dragons from the plane of Tarkir were capable of speech anyway, and she was able to communicate with one of them. Ojutai was his name. Next up is Nico Eris. Canonically, they were Magic's first non-binary character. Not a lot is known about them, to my knowledge. They've only had one card so far.
I'm struggling with this because this soul patch here.
Yeah.
Not doing it for me.
Oh, yeah.
If that wasn't there, this would be a smash, but I feel like that just fucking ruins it.
Oh.
Like...
Poor Nico.
I know, it's sad. Like maybe if there was different art without this little travesty, but that's a deal breaker for me.
Next up is a dragon god. So next is Nico Bolas, which that art's gonna be pretty hard to discern anything from. Yeah. Give me a moment. I mean, he's a dragon, so like, it's gonna be kind of hard for you to discern
much, but like maybe there's a different pose here. I gotta give him his due diligence. I can't just
absolutely, you can't just like not.
Apparently he's on a Spotify playlist, ladies and gentlemen.
So there's a little bit, I mean, that's like a moment when he's trying to take over a plane and he's basically like channeling his I'm gonna fuck everybody up vibes. But otherwise, like, they are all of him literally being a dragon. Let's send you another one just to give you a tiny bit more comparison.
I just want to see his face a little better.
Yeah, that's why I'm sending you this one. You can see it a little bit better.
You know, I was gonna put him in... I think he's got to be a pass now. That last picture, that is not a face.
That's okay. He is... he was Magic's very big baddie for the vast majority of the time that I've been playing Magic. They essentially, he was so bad that everybody locked him away in a realm known as the Meditation Realm. They basically put him in timeout, and they were like, "You need to think about what you've done because you're a fucking prick."
Because part of me was like, how often in life am I gonna get a Smash a Dragon? But then I
Right?
saw that face, and I just
Next up, Nissa Revane. Oh, Nissa. Let me see. Obviously, so Nissa has a bunch of cards, a bunch of artworks. She's referenced a whole ton. This is probably as close to like a normal shot of hers you're gonna get. A lot of them are action shots of her doing magic stuff and like screaming at the void, but it looks like you don't need it.
I mean, that only solidifies it.
So there's that.
Like this picture's already pretty hot, and then this is the other reference picture provided, and yeah, that's
Yeah.
a top tier Smash.
Bad news.
Also dead.
She is for sure completed. I don't know if she's dead.
I can fix her.
Yeah, she was. She was completed. She's also in a relationship with Chandra, but Chandra literally had to fight her or attempt to kill her. I mean,
Listen, the three of us can make it work.
currently, she was knocked out and then brought to another plane. Oh, they were able to revive her damaged spark. So she may not be completed anymore, or at least if she's still completed, they're working on fixing her. So
I see. Yeah, easy top tier.
Yeah, Nissa is super cool. A lot of her cards are very powerful or allow you to do splashy things, basically. Next up, Obnixilus, literally a demon.
Not a deal breaker,
however,
but he's a little, and I'm gonna put it same reason. I'm gonna put him next to the guy. These are too similar. Like they both have the horns, they both have the fire thing going on. They're both jacked. It's not doing it for me.
So just a demon. He does. There is art of him in a pinstripe suit. If you would like to see if that changes.
Sure.
He's kind of a badass. So he shows up on New Capenna. Like I don't remember if he's looking for Elspeth as well, or if they just so happen to be there at the same time.
I mean, this is just Thanos.
He rolls up and he immediately like takes over one of the other crime families by killing the other crime family, like one of the crime family's demon leaders. Like just literally like cuts off his horns and throws him off of a building, and then sends the horns to like the other crime family or something as a warning. It's pretty intense.
Like like he's badass. Like
yeah,
but that's not what we're talking. I'm talking if I would fuck this guy. And the answer is no.
That's fair. Next up is Oko, also known as one of the other twinks in Magic.
I mean,
So Oko's a trickster. He's also
put
a thief.
These guys right next to each other.
Yeah. Relatively new-ish, like only has a couple of cards, not referenced a whole lot. I don't know what his status is, where he's at in life. But
the blue's kind of doing it for me.
Yeah. He's also got a little bit of green.
He's got a lot of colors going on. That's very pretty, It looks like his hands are blue.
Yeah, I mean, the top half of his face is blue.
Well, I can't tell if that was paint or if that's like actually his skin color.
Right. Yeah, I think. Let me take a look at his other card. It's gotta be just paint.
You would think, right?
You would think. He is a Fae.
Yeah, I see the ears. Yeah, like this he's a smash. Easy smash.
Technically, he's a shapeshifter, apparently. Oh, cool. So here you go. He's conceited, mysterious, clever, and vain. Right up your alley.
Yeah, what's the term? So he's a brat.
Sure.
Have you never heard that term before?
No.
So like when someone identifies as a brat, they're like essentially that, like kind of an asshole in public, but like submissive in private.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. Okay. He's given brat vibes.
Okay. Well, his arms are blue, as if they had been dipped in some substance called woad. And his upper face has the same blue tone, giving the appearance of a mask across his eyes.
Yeah, I'm about it. I like it.
Next up is Ral Zarek.
He is very thin.
He's a small dude.
I think he's got it. I think he's got to go down here. I think he's the same vein as this man.
As Davriel.
Yeah. Okay. These are the vibes I'm getting from this picture.
Let me send you another one.
Okay.
See if that changes anything. This is when he's a touch younger.
Yeah, I mean he's like, I mean that even kind of almost solidified. Like these two are so similar in that
Sure.
regard, like their faces and the general attitude they're giving off. So
Sure.
I think I'm safely in the intoxicated.
So what's cool about Ral, he is, and again, I'm trying to just make sure I don't fuck this up too
Sure.
much.
You
He's
wouldn't
in
want
a
anyone to tell you you're wrong about magic lore, right?
right. He's in a relationship with another man by the name of Tomic.
Hmm.
So and again, I don't know if he's just gay, if he's
Bi or pan
bi
or
or what, but anyway, which is what I was trying to find
but
out.
his
But
current partner is male.
yeah. Which is also so like when that they basically for Pride Month 2 last year or the year before,
Mm-hmm.
they did a series of short stories talking about like a lot of these relationships throughout some of these characters, and that's how like Quatley and Sahili, like their story is super cute, like how they met and communicated, and Ral and Tomix is the same way.
Hmm.
So
I mean, he looks like he would be more Jack's type than mine. Jack likes those lanky dudes.
oh, okay. Next up is Rowan Kenrith. She has a brother named Will, who we'll get to later. They are twins.
I feel like
His
I'm really liking all of this. I feel like this is a really bad perspective on her face.
All right. So let me get you another perspective.
You know, it's like when you take a picture of someone from below, I feel like no one looks good, and that's kind of what's happening right here to me. Definitely.
Yeah.
Yeah. No, that's an easy smash.
Easy peasy.
Easy peasy.
To my knowledge, I don't think she's dead. It looks like she's still alive. Her and her brother fought off a huge avatar on one of the previous planes. It looks like they both made it, but that's pretty much it. Sahili's next.
All right. She's given me Jasmine vibes, and Jasmine is my favorite Disney princess next to Belle. And so that's a smash.
So you're gonna pass? Is that what you're saying?
No, definitely a smash.
I mean, I won't even bother sending you another picture.
Oh,
No, Sahili's super cool. As mentioned before, she's in a relationship with Quatley.
which one was that?
The dinosaur lady.
Oh, gotcha. We'll put them next to each other then.
Aw.
Can't keep them apart, which I guess I should do that then as well, right? Like that.
Next up is Samut.
Uh,
She is a very fierce warrior planeswalker. Doesn't have a whole lot of cards, surprisingly. She's only got 3. None of the artworks are all super like they're all pretty much the same. Oh, actually, ironically, they're almost all the exact same pose. Just literally both swords, arms out, and an
Angry
action
face.
expression. Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, I think that's probably like there. It's not a quick no for me.
That's
She
fair.
feels like she's a woman who knows what she's doing.
At the moment, she's still alive. Haven't seen her in quite a few sets. So she hasn't
Been
really
pretty
been
absent.
anywhere. Next up is Sarkon, and he is a dragon master.
There's like things that I'm like, okay, and then things I'm like, Like I like the
Maybe
hair. Not a big fan of the facial hair. He's not too
Sure.
jacked. Having a dragon's pretty badass. But at the
Yeah,
same
he's
time, he
pretty
kind of
much-
looks like a dick. So like, it's probably a pass.
I don't think he's an outright asshole. He is able to transform into a dragon. I forgot about that. Yeah, he's been in like previous iterations of him. He started off as pretty much just like mono red, so he's very, he's.
I mean, what's his dragon form look like?
I don't think they ever actually show him as a dragon.
Because
They
I
just
mean, that's
show
the
him-
same as this guy. Like, like how many chances in life can I fuck a dragon?
Right.
So like, if his dragon form is like decent, maybe.
He did start off red, and then he picked up black, so he was very like he was maybe not evil for a time, but he wasn't a nice guy. And then he actually lost black, gained green, which so he kind of went a bit more towards the, I guess, neutral, away from like chaotic evil and more towards chaotic neutral.
Mm-hmm.
Last seen, God, 2019, he was mono red again. So, but it's been a few years since we've seen him as well. Who's next? Soren.
It's a
Soren is
vampire boy.
okay, but you can't go off of that artwork
Why? Is it really bad?
because there is a specific Soren
All right, all right, all right.
that like the entirety of the Magic community was like, excuse me. So first, I'm gonna send you the one that gives me like Twink Geralt vibes.
Okay. I mean, is he a vampire? Like,
He is a vampire. He is a
okay.
vampire. Yep.
Like, this is
So
Castlevania Alucard looking shit. Oh, that's just like a straight up person.
this is the oh my god, he's hot. This is like Castlevania.
Oh, that,
Or,
yeah, that is straight up Alucard.
yep, yep. So yeah, when this set came out, they actually did like a Dracula themed like alternate artwork,
Mm-hmm.
and he does have a Dracula card.
Yeah, like that's just Alucard.
Yep.
Which,
So, yeah,
I mean,
that's
is
Soren.
like a smash. Like, that's not in question. It's just, I'm just, I'm just pointing out.
Yep, no, literally.
Yeah, no, this is the
He's a
worst.
vampire.
This is the worst one out of all these.
Yep, yep. I mean, technically, we've been going off of the given artworks
I
every other
mean,
time.
but like some of them are like some of the perspective. Like for this one, like the perspective is just not great. So like
Sure.
I feel
And
like
same thing with Nico Bolas.
yeah. So I feel like some of these are like you need a second opinion.
Sure,
you know?
sure.
Or like if you're on the fence.
Yeah, yeah.
So it's like I feel like it's fair sometimes.
Next up is Teo. Not a whole lot is known about
I mean, I
him
don't need to know a lot.
either. Just-
He's
all right, let me see what I can find out about Teo Verada.
giving a Twinkie deathcore vocalist vibes.
Dude, straight up. Oh shit, he does look like a deathcore vocalist. Yeah, he's a shield mage. So
so he'll always protect me, is what you're saying.
Yep. He is on the cusp. He is 19 apparently.
Oh, I mean,
Well, so he was 19 when we met him. It's been who knows how many years since. At the introduction of his storyline, Teo is an orphan aged 19.
okay, so this is probably not his original art, right?
I mean, that's the first card we were shown by him or
Mhm.
of him. And then the other one that we got looks like earlier this year. But it's essentially, he looks pretty much the same.
That's fine. That's fine. Like,
That's
he's
fine.
not, like, questionably 15, 14.
Right, right.
Like, he's an adult. By American standards, I should say.
All right, next up is Tezzeret.
Oh, God.
And he was a big bad for a hot minute.
But what that claw do?
Don't let that cloud your judgment.
Don't let that cloud your judgment.
Ah. I mean, a lot of his art
He's
is kind of
questionable right now.
he's got the same like mechanical arm in every.
Yeah, but I'm kind of digging the dreads.
Yeah, all of his artwork is basically like
Him just standing
down
there.
low, angled up. Yeah.
I mean, that's probably a pass. Like, I mean, the claw is cool. Like I said, what that claw do?
With the claw.
But not big on the facial hair. Doesn't seem like a very emotionally available man.
Sure. No, you're not wrong. The Wandering Emperor. I don't think we have a name for her yet.
Okay.
Because she's literally we met her as the Wanderer,
Mm-hmm.
and then later she got a card called the Wandering Emperor. It looks like she just goes by the Wanderer. Traveling swordswoman with snow white hair and brown eyes. What is kind of funny about her at the time when early in the story when we first learned about her, she doesn't really know how to control her abilities.
Mm-hmm.
So she just like randomly appears in planes throughout the multiverse. So she's just like, fuck, how did I get here?
So she's the Wanderer isn't like ooh, she's the Wanderer. She's like, oh fuck, she has no idea where she's going, kind of.
Yeah, kind of. Yep.
It's more of a joke than a mystique.
But we do find out that she was the emperor or is the emperor of Kamigawa, which is the same plane that Kaito was from, and they actually grew up together. They were friends when they were kids, and he was the ninja dude that you said.
Yeah. Yeah, I think so. I think she's cute. I like the white hair. I like her build. I like her swords. I actually really like her like feather armor.
Yeah, her armor's pretty dope.
It's like a mix of like almost like cyberpunk meets classical.
Next up is Tybalt. Yep. Yep.
Tybalt.
He's an imp or a devil. I don't remember
It looks
which he
like a
technically
succubus.
is.
Or an incubus, I should say.
Sucky what?
So a succubus is, I mean, you know
I
what a
know.
succubus is.
Yeah.
An incubus is just the male version of a succubus.
Oh, interesting.
Yeah.
Huh. Yeah, I want to say, yeah, okay. I'm pretty sure he's just a devil.
Yeah, I mean, he can devil my pants.
Devil these nuts across your chin.
Nah, he's a good looking dude. I'm about it.
He's gonna devil your eggs.
Oh, wait a minute. I didn't notice. We gotta enhance.
Oh yeah, buddy. He's got a
whiskers.
jock strap going on.
Oh no.
Yep, yep.
Everything else was going so well.
Yeah, he's it's pretty noticeable in like all of his other art. So
Is that a deal breaker?
is that a deal breaker? That's a question you have to look inside and ask yourself, Ryan.
I think that drops him down here.
Oh, bummer.
Yeah, he almost slipped by. I had noticed at the last second. I was like, wait a minute. Fucking trim that shit off, bro.
Oh man. Next up is Tyvar. Tyvar is an elf. Might be a little too jacked for your liking.
You know,
You're like, normally.
I'm kind of in that camp. Like normally, like yeah, he's a little more muscular than I would normally go for, but he's got such a pleasant face.
And he is kind of a badass.
And I love the hair. Like yeah, I think he's a smash.
Here is.
I think he's the only. I think he's the only muscle dude who's gonna make it.
Here's an alternate artwork of him that's a little less like it gives him a little bit more of a jubilant feel.
Oh, and they definitely toned down
the jackedness.
The jackedness. Like he's still very in shape, but yeah, that's a smash. Let's go.
Let's go. All right, this is your last chance.
Oh, for a dragon?
For a dragon. This is Ugin. This is Nicol Bolas's brother.
Is there another one of a closer of his face?
Yes. Give me just a moment.
Because that was the deal breaker last time. He's starting strong. The like old man titty looking thing, not doing it for me very much. Like these scales right here.
Oh, sure.
But I could be convinced.
Okay, well, I'm going to send you the anime artwork just because it's
Sure.
super badass and I've literally never seen it before. And now I'm like, shit, how do I do this? Or how do I get a copy of this?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I personally, I really like Ugin. I think he's super cool. He's technically a spirit.
That's fine.
But,
you can visit me in my dreams.
So that's him.
Ooh.
That's a better of his face.
It's definitely a better picture.
Yeah,
I really like his wings, I think, more in this one, but like everything else.
We're gonna go on a super quick side tangent. There was a card. Yeah. So there's an artist that does like absolutely phenomenal work, and they got commissioned to do an alternate version of Ugin of one of his cards.
Okay.
Because I'm like, the art is so spectacular. Oh, this art's just so cool. It doesn't do much for him because it's very stylized, but
he looks a lot more dragon-like in this one.
Yeah, I love the color palette. So sick.
That is very pretty. I think these two have convinced me he's a smash.
Yeah.
Like I said, I mean, people are gonna be like, "Oh, you're scaly or whatever." Like, bro, if I have one chance to fuck a dragon, I'm gonna take it.
Right.
And maybe it'll suck. Maybe it's the worst ever, but I don't know that.
Here is as good of an artwork as I can find for the anime version, and then we'll get back to the task at hand. Because we're getting pretty close to being done now.
Yeah, we're in the final 6. And then maybe I'll do like a quick try to order them a little better. Oh yeah,
so that's
so
anime
much
artwork.
Yeah, this is so much better. Here, I'll close some of these. Just in comparison, like this. This makes him look really old.
I mean, he is an elder dragon.
Yeah, but like comparatively, this is
comparatively.
This is like 5 million.
Anime always makes them look younger.
Yeah, this is like 5 million years old. This is like 1 million years old. You know, like.
And the difference is
noticeable. He wears it on his man tits right here, like. Whereas these are a little perkier, you know.
Fair. Well, that's fair.
So yeah,
you're not wrong.
I'm convinced. You know, he'll be the dragon that made it. All right.
Next up is Venser. I don't know a whole lot about Venser. Let's see if I can.
Except he's got fucking mutton chops.
Oh yeah. Yeah. Venser is.
And some shredder arms. He does got some lips. I feel like this isn't a great picture of him, but like judging from this picture, he'd probably be down here.
To my knowledge, yeah, he's only got like one other art,
Actually,
and it's
the chops are pretty bad. He's going down here.
that's fair.
And he's
That
got kind
works
of a
out.
mustache.
He is a bad guy,
Mm.
and he did die,
Uh-huh.
and then everyone was able to utilize what was left of his spark to uncomplete the two planeswalkers we talked about that got uncompleted earlier,
Mm-hmm.
which are Ajani and apparently Nissa.
So, I mean, he made a good sacrifice.
Yeah, it was worth it. Vivian Reed. She's fucking cool. I love Vivian.
She's also fucking gorgeous.
She has also she's on New Capenna for a hot minute, and I have this specific artwork because there is a deck I want to build that utilizes her.
Mm-hmm. I mean, again, green does a lot
Yep.
for me, so that's already
Dude, I'm
points.
telling you, you just gotta just play Magic.
But like, she has just a gorgeous face, and I love her hair.
This one's a little bit more stylized, but I fucking love this artwork.
Very stylized.
So...
Yeah, so that she does have kind of like the short side.
Yep.
Yeah, no, she's gorgeous. I'm about it.
Yeah, I mean, that's pretty much like that's her style. This is one of the so now we get to Vraska. This was Jace's girlfriend.
Which one was Jace?
The twink, the first one. No, keep going. And next
Oh,
one.
this one. Right. Yeah.
Yep.
Okay.
That's Jace's girlfriend.
No, don't give me the whole backstory. Is she like a demon, a monster?
She's a Gorgon.
A Gorgon. Okay. I mean, how often can I fuck a Gorgon? All right.
Kind of cool little backstory. Her and Jace were they were together, and then they both got completed. She completed him, and then as she was dying, what's really cool is Jace, because he's like a mind sculptor. He basically like made a safe space in the back of Vraska's mind, so that way she would never be completely lost to whatever darkness took hold of her. So like the Vraska story is actually like super heartbreaking. She basically is fighting with herself while she's in the midst of being completed, and she's constantly going back to her in her memories to try and she's like nestling into that corner of her mind that Jace made for her. And you find out that Jace was the only person to treat her like a human, which is why she never turned him to stone. Or to treat her like a person, and which is why they ended up becoming lovers and ended up being together, and then they both end up, to my knowledge, dying together. Well, not together, but Vraska, to my knowledge, is dead, or at least her body disappeared. Ultimately, her fate is unknown.
Yeah, I mean, I think she's pretty.
Yeah, she's got another artwork that's pretty cool, and of course she's got like a really badass anime version that I will send you as well. I agree. I think Vraska's really pretty.
I actually like her hands, despite how like almost horrific they are. I still think they're actually really cool. So like, my opinion is shaped off this art. I would smash absolutely, but let's see what.
So this is
other
her
arts we got here.
A little bit more normal.
Oh yeah, way more normal.
But then this is her anime artwork, which I think is just fucking badass.
Oh god. I mean, yeah, I would. I mean, all three of these are an easy smash for me. So absolutely, we're smashing.
Next up is Will. So this is Rowan's brother. Yeah, you're gonna try and figure something out.
Yeah, we'll figure it out between the three of us.
Yeah, same thing. Not a whole lot is known about him.
We're talking like this is like Monday through Friday. This is like Saturday, Sunday.
Nice. Next up is Ren. Ren is not the tree technically. She's a dryad, but she does merge with the trees. So she's technically the dryad at the top.
Right. I see like the fusion going on here.
Yeah, she merges with nature, and she utilizes it as much as she can her story is super depressing too, but Ren is super cool. I don't know.
This is gonna be, I need another reference here.
I mean, most of the art you're gonna get of Ren is literally her attached to a tree. So.
Yeah, but some of these are a little clearer from what I'm seeing here. Like, here's one I'm looking at right now. Like, that's a little more. And
Hell yeah.
I'm willing to try.
All right, last but not least, Xenagos. He's a satyr,
Oh god, fucking
and
Mr. Tongue Miss ass. He's even carrying a lantern.
he becomes a god. Just so you know.
I mean, he's got the green. Looks like a lot of blood.
Yeah, I mean, he's the red green colors, so very
Hmm.
like, chaotic nature, return to the roots kind of feel. And he literally becomes the god of revels.
He's probably a good cuddler. Look at all,
Yeah, you're probably not wrong there.
And how often do you get a fuck a satyr? So you know what, we're going for it. It could be bad, could be horrible, but you know what
He definitely doesn't die.
not.
Actually, if I remember correctly, Elspeth kills him.
All right, let me see if I
Uh,
will do a quick order here. I think you should probably be right there. I think that's probably what my smash tier would look like.
okay.
And then pass doesn't really matter because I'm passing on all of them.
Right.
Intoxicated probably looks something like that.
Okay. Man, you're up for a lot of regrettable nights, aren't you?
You know what? That's fine.
Well, there you have it, folks. The undisputed Smasher Pass tier list for Ryan. Yeah, this is the undisputed Smasher Pass list for Magic the Gathering Planeswalkers, regardless of whether or not they're good, bad, dead, completed, or
Yeah, this is the final opinion. If you don't agree, you're wrong. This is also the exact order of which you will smash, and the exact order of which you will pass.
the Satyr is last. Poor
I
Xenagos.
mean, he's only barely making it in here. He's making it by virtue of being a satyr.
But think of all the facial hair, Ryan.
It is a lot of facial hair, and I had to debate it, but he's probably a good cuddler, dude. I mean, he's got the nice arms and the legs. It's the same as when we're talking Lion Dad.
Yeah. Yeah, okay.
The
That's
sex might just be average, but fucking the aftercare is probably top tier, you know? You can fall asleep in those arms.
yeah. Yeah, no, you're not wrong.
I feel like this is a strong list, and you'll be hard pressed to find one that is not this. I feel like everyone's in mutual agreement that this is the way it is and the order that it should be.
Yeah, yeah. I mean, no one is ever gonna disagree with you whatsoever. And why would they?
Exactly. Why would you ever disagree with this? That
Now the
said,
question is, do you remember any of their names?
uh,
In your top three, do you remember their names? Following morning, do you remember their names? Don't cheat, you cheater. You fucking cheater.
I remember this is Jace.
Yep.
Right.
That's not in your top three.
I know. This is Nisa.
Nissa, yep,
Yeah.
yep. Also starts with an N.
I'm complete blank.
Yeah, Nahiri.
And this was I knew it a second ago.
Think Lilith, but not.
Yeah, it's not like Lillian, it's
Liliana. Close
Liliana,
enough.
yeah. Some of these passes they almost would make it. I think if we put these in an order like this, it becomes very clear of the type I am not into.
Yeah, yeah. Goblins and dragons.
I just mean this row.
No, I know.
Yeah.
Facial hair.
Just the jackedness doesn't do it for me. The smolder doesn't do it for me. Yeah, I'd be curious to see your order.
I mean, for me, a lot of it would be pretty similar.
Really?
Yeah, I mean, well, like for me, like Kiora would probably be much higher up on the list. Watley and the Wandering Emperor would be higher. Liliana's cool, but she's definitely not my favorite Planeswalker by any stretch of the means, or like any stretch. I think like top for me, like if I had to
Well, here,
choose
how
top,
about if you pull it up, and you could probably do it way quicker than I can. So yeah, we're gonna do Trentyn's version real quick because he's obviously a lot more familiar with these characters. We don't need to do as much of the background, and now he's seen mine. So, Trentyn,
all right,
how does it go for you?
Ajani, super good dude, super cat daddy. I take it. Probably not Angrath as well
But
for
what? But
me.
why is he? Is it because he's cuddleable?
Who, Ajani?
Yeah.
Yeah, he's cuddleable.
Okay. Okay. Yeah, you can give a
Angrath,
short description.
Angrath, not so much. Arlen, Arlen, I love her as a card. I love her as a character.
What about her
The fact,
werewolf form though?
she probably enjoys pets as much as I like cuddles. So
Fair enough.
Ashiok is less of a go for me.
Mm-hmm.
I'm not into nightmare fuel,
I see. I
and
see.
I don't want to have my memories erased and replaced with nightmares, so I'm good there. Bossry, I'm in that like the sand thing is kind of
That's a deal breaker.
kind of a hard no for me. Helix is one of those that I'm like, he's a good
That
looking
navel
dude,
though.
but he's just like he's so obsessed with finding Elspeth, and that's kind of
And
a
that was
kind of
my
an
thing
issue.
too. You know, like he's a one
Yeah,
night stand level guy.
yeah. Chandra is Chandra. I mean, she'd never go for me, but that's okay. I would at least try. Not so big on Dak. I don't know what it is. It might just be his face.
I mean, that's
Uh,
fair.
I appreciate what Duretti does as a card, but also
You
not
know,
into
love him as a
cards.
friend,
Yeah, yeah.
not as a smash.
Davriel, I would probably regret.
Like I said, he
Montgomery,
comes in a few years later and he's like, "Yo, I'm finna smash," and you're like, "No, I can't." And then he's
yeah,
like,
like
"But really though?" And then you're like, "Yeah, okay."
you're like, no. Dovin, probably a super nice dude, but
But
I don't think he's
I
for
mean,
me.
he looks like a pretty boring lay, but you know, you could talk to him.
Elspeth is an absolute badass, and I have a soft spot for her.
Hmm.
I actually really like Garuk.
Oh man, okay. This
He's
is where we diverge.
I like him as a character, but you know, he's probably gonna just ruin me.
Oh yeah.
Gideon, I like Gideon as a character. I think he's pleasant, or yeah, he's technically human, so
Trenton into
he's
whip play
dead. But,
confirmed.
right. Watley, same thing as Chandra, love but will never be loved back. Okay.
I was gonna say if you want to put them in order as you go.
Yeah, so we'll put probably something like that at the moment. Jace, I already don't like being poked and prodded, and I know he
Oh,
would
fair.
get
Yeah.
into my mind, so I'm like,
He's
it would take a drink or
he's a
two.
one night stand.
Yeah. Jaya, you went based off of her.
I went based off of that art. Like if it was the young
Yeah,
art, absolutely smash. But
I mean,
yeah,
sorry, kid. Kaito, good looking dude. I'd hang out with him for sure.
yeah, he looks like a bro. Like I would absolutely hang out with him.
Sorry,
Oh, you
Karn.
can't just not say anything.
I said sorry, Karn.
You were grilling me about it.
No, Karn. So Karn has he actually was made by one of my favorite not characters, but one of my favorite cards.
Mm.
Her character created him to basically like have a friend, and so like her and Karn they traveled around together for a hot minute. I'm not into robots, you know.
Uh-huh.
So he's probably above Dovin, but still a pass.
Got
Kasmina, I absolutely love her card. I
yeah.
play the living shit out of that card, so she's up there for me.
She is gorgeous.
Aya's up there. Oh,
Oh.
don't worry
Oh
about this.
man. All right. All right.
Yeah,
Don't
not.
worry. What do you mean? You can't just keep going.
Yeah, I can. I can do whatever I fucking want. I mean, come on. She's a goddamn merfolk who controls like waves and sea monsters. What's
And
not?
Adami mommy, look at that pose.
Right? You get it. You get
You
it.
can-
Not so hot on Koth. Probably a little more than Dak.
Mm-hmm.
Just because I think what he can do is cool, but
Mm-hmm.
Lily, like, she's an obvious yeah, but
But
I like her
where?
less
Yeah.
than others.
All right. All right.
Yeah, Luca is an absolute no-go. Mainly because I know his character. Like,
Yeah. Yeah. That he's selfish.
um, yeah, he's a selfish prick.
Mm.
Muyan Ling, she's up there. She's a cootie. Nahiri's a cootie.
Mm-hmm.
I do actually really like Narset,
Mm-hmm.
but I think for me, she's a little bit more in the.
Might take a little bit.
Well, she's probably just lower on the scale, honestly.
Yeah.
Like, technically, these would be higher than a Johnny, but I know they would never love me back, which is why they were lower.
I see. I see.
Nico, take a drink or two, but
We could get there. Yeah.
good looking person. Nico Bolas, go fuck yourself.
He's got not a fuckable face. I'll say that.
Nissa, not much to say. She's
Mm.
Nissa. Obnixilis, you're down there with Nico Bolas. Not a big fan of Oko, not quite my type.
Okay. Okay.
I do really like Ral as a character, as a card.
Mm-hmm.
Take a drink or two, but
We'd get there.
he is also taken though, so we'll put him just a touch lower.
I see.
But
But you could make it work between the three of you.
Yeah, we'll figure it out.
know.
I do really like Rowan. I do play. I have a couple decks with her. I think I like Arlen a little bit more. The Healy is super cute, but she's also taken.
Yeah, we'll make it work.
We'll put her next to Watley. Samut would probably scare the shit out of me.
But yeah, top drink
Yeah,
tier though.
yeah. Starcon, probably a little too manly for me.
Mm-hmm.
Would just absolutely beat the shit out of me. I know it.
Yeah, and he just looks like a douche.
Yeah, I'm curious about his lore now because I don't remember. And then you have Alucard, who like, don't worry about it. Just,
I mean, yeah, he's gotta be up there. He's canonically by, bro.
I mean, you're not wrong.
Maybe not Soren, but Alucard.
Yeah. Let's see, Teo. He's probably in here amongst these friends. And then, yeah, not so much in the Tezzeret train.
But what that claw do?
What that claw do? The Wanderer, I think she's also super cute. We'll put her right up there. Tybalt, not so much.
You were griefing me about that chin strap, bro. Now you're gonna put him in the pass?
Well, yeah. Tyvar, he's got to work for it.
I see. He's got to buy you the drinks.
Yep.
I see.
Ugin, let's be real.
Yeah. When are you gonna fuck a dragon? Like everyone who comments on this is gonna be like, "Why is there that guy there?" And my answer will always be the same. When are you ever gonna fuck a dragon?
When are you gonna be Donkey from Shrek? You know,
exactly.
like, you got one shot.
One opportunity.
Yeah. Venser, not quite my type, but we'll put him up there in the DAC range.
Yeah.
Vivian, sup, girl? Yeah, I think I'm probably
a little more partial. Yeah. Oh, she's climbing.
Yeah, the Vivian cards. Like everything she does. I read the story for Ikoria, like when Luca gets the shit burned out of him, and like she's just so cool. He's such a badass. Vraska, whoop. And then Will, you gotta work for it, bud.
Same tier. I see you have basically twink tier in here, other than Soren.
Yeah, other than Soren. Ren is it.
When are you gonna fuck a tree?
Her story's so fucking heartbreaking, though. It makes me so sad. And then, unfortunately, I'm gonna disagree with you with Xenagos. He's gonna be down there.
You don't wanna pet those legs, dude?
Nah, I don't think so.
I don't think so. I am astonished that Merlady is number one.
Dude, okay, listen.
I mean, I would smash too, but I'm just surprised.
Yeah, she's up there. I'm trying to think. I think I'd probably move y'all around like so. Yeah, I think this is pretty close. I know.
Pretty clean list.
Like, I know Huatli and Saheeli would never go. Same thing with Chandra.
I mean,
Technically,
we're
Nissa.
living in a fantasy where all these people also want to fuck us. So
Well, that is why they call it fantasy.
exactly.
It's far from the truth.
It is cool, to see our different tastes and how they are the same in a lot of ways and different in a lot of ways. Because I think I had it looks like 4 or 5 more smashes.
Yeah.
Yeah, and then but other than that, a lot of characters have fallen in the same brackets for both of us.
Right.
And then obviously we have our ending order a lot different. Clearly, I have a thing for the gothy girls, and you have a thing for mermaids.
Dude, look, all I'm gonna say is Kiora is a fucking badass, and if that makes me a fish fucker, then
that's fine. That's fine. When are you ever gonna fuck a fish?
When are you gonna ever fuck a fish?
Oh man.
So yeah, this is the true objectionally correct.
See, but you have bias. I don't. I'm just like.
That's true.
I'm finna smash.
I do have a little bit of bias based on characters.
Whereas I am the completely unbiased, uninhibited opinion, which makes it the correct opinion.
Yeah, you probably know.
Oh, but thank you for watching another 2-hour tier list.
I mean, by the time we edit it, it'll probably be less.
Maybe. We'll see.
Yeah, right.
And do you agree? Do you disagree? I'm sure you will let us know if you disagree.
Yeah, everyone's going to be like, y'all a bunch of fucking furries.
Or they're going to be like, what do you mean? Dragon Daddy #1. But anyway.
Well, with that, goodbye.
Yeah. Well, bye-bye.